Hi guys, I'm Becky, my channel's What Beck Sews. Welcome back if you're a subscriber and welcome if you're new. I hope you're all well, I hope you're all happy and I hope you've all had plenty of time to sew. Today is a Friday Sews where I'm going to talk about what I've been up to with you. I am looking forward to sharing some bits that I bought from the Sewing for Pleasure show with you and talking to you a little bit about that. Now, I know that this isn't actually going up in my normal time slot. Normally you have this filmed and done and uploaded on a Thursday night, ready to go for 6 a.m. on a Friday morning. This week, the lovely Adele from Sew for Serenity has been the organised one, and I haven't. So this is going up hopefully at some point on Friday. I'm just taking a quick lunch break with work to try and get this filmed. So I ended up down the hospital yesterday with my youngest. She wasn't very well. She's absolutely fine. She's got a chest infection, but she had a high temperature and it caused a really high heart rate, and they just wanted to get her checked over. So we were down there for quite a long time, and that just kiboshed any plans and things that I had to work my way around planning getting this filmed. So I am wearing me Maude, but I am really scruffy today. Apologies guys, this is me at home working after having quite a late night and quite a sleepless one because my daughter's been coughing and not feeling great all night. So I have proper scruffs on. This is a McCall's, I'll pop it down here below what the pattern is. It's the comfiest slouchy jumper I have made, and I actually wear it all the time at home. It is made in this gorgeous Ponte Roma that I got from Legend Textiles, and it was $1.99 a metre, and it's just fab, and it's washed really well, it's worn really well, and like I said, I do wear this a lot. I'm wearing a pair of really scruffy bleached Stella joggers. This is in a viscose French terry that I got from First for Fabrics. It bobbled quite quickly on me because I've got quite chubby legs and they like to rub together. But it's such a cozy fabric that I absolutely love it. But it is literally covered in bleach stains and all sorts. And I'm going to be dyeing the hair in a little while. So hence why I have these on. So I just want to say thank you to a couple of people who have recently bought me a coffee. I only noticed last week, sorry guys, I know you put them in a couple of weeks ago, but I signed into my Kofi account and then saw them, and today I've gone back and replied to everybody just to say thank you. So to Jean, Anne and Julie, who are the three names that I can see, there's a fourth coffee there, and I've said thank you, but I just can't see who it's from. So thank you very much, whoever you were. I really appreciate it. And that was for hitting my 4K. So thank you for that. So let's talk about what I was buying. So I went to the Sewing for Pleasure show last week. I went with the lovely Adele from Sew for Serenity. She was my +1 for our friendiversary, because it was this time last year that we met at the Sewing for Pleasure show. Sorry, I do have a Benny here, which is why you can see me stroking something. So yeah, we met for the first time at the Sewing for Pleasure show last year, so it was actually quite reminiscent. If I hadn't have won tickets, we wouldn't have gone, and I won tickets from the lovely Becky's Sewing Studio, who we did go and see whilst we were there. We also met up with two absolutely beautiful, lovely ladies who you will all know as Rachel from Stitched Up and Ruan, who is the Yorkshire Sew Girl here on YouTube. So they decided to go, and they were going up on the Sunday, and it was all a bit last minute to be fair, but we arranged to meet up with them on the Sunday because that was the day that we'd chosen to go as well. And it was just a really enjoyable experience spending it with them. When we met in December, it was the first time that we'd met in person, although we'd spoken to them on Instagram and stuff, and Adele had met them previously in Birmingham. This was the first time I'd ever met them. But it was kind of like a social sewing environment. So we did spend time together, we did talk, it was lovely. We'd been out for dinner the night before. But I felt like I really got a chance to know them at the Sewing for Pleasure show. We sat down for lunch, which was more like 2 hours of us just gassing about how wonderful our sewing communities are and how fabulous it is to make all of these friends and get to know all of these people. We were also talking about family life. We were talking about all sorts. So I felt like it was a really nice opportunity to get to know them, and they are just as beautiful as they are on screen. It was a real genuine pleasure. Now, of course, we didn't just meet up with them. We saw the lovely Adam from Adam Sews. He had a stand at the Sewing for Pleasure show as well, and we got to go and say hello and hear about his experiences there, and that was really enjoyable too. So we did make a couple of purchases as well. Now, Adele and I went with a £50 budget. Did we stay to that budget? Now, if you've watched Adele's vlog, you'll know that we didn't stick to it. However, we didn't do too bad, and I really didn't do too bad. So the budget was £50. I came in at £63, which I'm very impressed with. And I bought some bits that I think were quite well thought of buys for me anyway. So let me talk about what I got from the lovely Becky's sewing studio. Now, I bought some of her labels. I do quite like her labels. I've bought them a few times. So this is how they look. The thing I love about Becky's sewing studio is she's always got this sort of like leopard print. This is her go-to kind of style, and it gives you a bit of an insight into the sort of fabrics that she chooses and things like that. She likes bright colours, and that's a win in my mind. So these are the labels that I chose, and I just think they're really, really pretty. And I know she's in the process of designing some more, so hopefully we'll get some more soon. The other thing that she has, she's bought her own range of buttons out, and I'm a sucker for buttons. I mean, I make them, of course I'm going to be a sucker for buttons, but these are laser cut acrylic buttons, and she's actually gone and bought all the bits that she needs to do it, so she's done this herself. And these aren't on the website just yet, but there are plans for them to go onto the website very soon. And these are these gorgeous ones here. Now the colours in these are just sensational, and they're blues and purples and pinks. They're very me colours, and there's bits of green in them, but she had a few different colorways of them, and I know that there are intentions of them going up on her website soon, so they should be up very soon. So that's Becky's Sewing Studio. I will link it down below, and you can go over and check her site out and see what she's got on there, because she's also got some lovely fabrics on there as well. The other thing that I purchased was with intention. So I went looking for cotton twill. I've got the New Tilly in the Buttons pattern, which I shared with you last week, the Thea patterns. And I did originally go to my local fabric shop, you know, my little Aladdin's Cave, and they are a bit hit and miss with what they've actually got in stock there. I went looking for a twill, and they had lots of suiting fabrics. So I could have got like a workwear wide leg trouser fabric, but it wasn't what I was looking for. I wanted a plain fabric. Yes, this is me. I wanted a plain fabric because I want to have lots of beautiful tops that can go with my Thea trousers. But they didn't have any cotton twills at the Sewing for Pleasure show, so I went for this instead. This is a stretch denim. Now, if you've seen Rachel also did a vlog on what she bought from the Sewing for Pleasure show. She bought this, but in another colourway. This is this gorgeous tomato red. I got this from the Higgs and Higgs stand, I think. And I had looked at some similar colourways of this on another stand, and this was just a little bit cheaper. And this is more my kind of tomato red, so I thought this was perfect. And this would go really well with most things in my wardrobe. Most of the colours I make tend to go with red, because red is one of my favourite colours. The next thing I bought was, or the last thing I bought, from Doherty Fabrics. Now Doherty's, I think I'm saying that right. They're a stand, they go to a lot of the shows. They've usually got loads of Liberty style sort of quilting fabrics and cottons and things like that. I think Ruth, who is seamstress over here on YouTube, again, I'll link her channel below. Anybody that I've mentioned, I'll link them down below. She bought some Liberty, I think, from this particular one. But I'd had a heads up from one of my lovely subscribers, thank you very much, Sue, that Doherty's were selling off some of their Lady McElroys for £8 a metre. Now, there was a backstory to it, which I won't go into on YouTube, but I don't care what the backstory was. I got some fabric, Lady McElroy fabric, for £8 a metre. This is one of their older designs, and it's a cotton lawn, but it's on this kind of indigo coloured background. And then you've got these pops of navy and blue, and you've got these gorgeous birds with this sort of red in there. And I don't know if you can see that, but the red goes beautifully with that. Now, I did buy 3 metres of this, £24, because, you know, £24 for Lady McElroy, 3 metres of cotton lawn. You're not really going to moan at it. So I don't know what I'm going to make with it. There was no intention with this particular purchase, but it was an absolute bargain that I couldn't say no to. I mean, Adele got some gorgeous Lady McElroy jersey crepe for £8 a metre. That was £17 a metre, so that was a really good bargain. So that was the things that I purchased. That was everything. Are you proud of me? Because I'm quite proud of me. I am going to the Stitch Festival this weekend. The chances are that I am going to be spending a lot more than that whilst I'm there. I do want some viscoses. I do really like the look of some of the new Fabric Godmother collection. Now I think I would like to go, I don't necessarily need to buy it right now, but I really would like to go to the stand, have a look and have a feel of some of the bases with that. And then maybe there's two particular ones that stand out to me, then maybe make a sneaky purchase, but we'll just see. So let's talk about makes. Now I shared with you last week, this is inside out, because I've been trying it on to share with you. Now I haven't quite finished this, I just need to put the button on the back, which I've got to one side and I need to hem it. But this was the everyday new crafthouse dress. Now I did ask if I should make this into a top or a dress. I spoke to all of you about it, and I had quite a few people suggest to me to make the dress, because I can always cut it off into a top, but the general consensus was dress. There was a few people that said top, but the general consensus was dress. So I went for the dress. This is the dress. I mean, the colours on this fabric are just so vibrant and beautiful. The problem that I have is I don't like the dress on me. So let's talk about the dress itself first of all. It is it's a dress that has puff sleeves. The actual stock picture shows it as a maxi version. I'll pop that picture in here. It's a dress that's perfect for beginners. You've got a bit of bias binding around the neckline. You've got an elasticated button loop to put in. But other than that, it's a really simple sew. There's just lots of gathering and then a cuff to put on the arm. So I would say if you've done a bit of sewing before, this is the perfect pattern for you. It will work really well. Now I've made this in a cotton lawn. This is not the first time I've made it. I have made a previous version of one, which I'll pop in here, and I love that one. Now that is made in a viscose, and it's made in viscose chalet, so it's a really lightweight and very drapey fabric. This is a Lady McElroy cotton lawn. It's an absolutely beautiful cotton lawn. I love the colours. It's just stunning. And I have shortened the dress like I did with my last one. So I've took a good few inches. I think I took about 5 inches off of the bottom tier, and then I took about 4 inches off of this tier, with the idea that I will turn it up and it will sit just below my knees, which is kind of the perfect length for me. But I don't like it on. It literally hits the boobs and just drops. I'll pop a picture in of the actual side view of it so you can see exactly what I mean. And I just feel like I'm wearing a tent. It literally feels like I'm wearing a tent. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. Now, I was talking to Adele last night, and I got back from the hospital. I got in the bath, and I was sitting there and we were having a general chit chat. And she suggested putting darts in it to try and make it a little bit more fitted. Now, if any of you have followed me for a long time, you'll know that I am a bit of a nightmare when it comes to, if a garment is made up, the idea of taking it apart and then playing with it and then putting it all back together really doesn't appeal to me, because I'm kind of like, well, I'm done now. Which is a really bad kind of mindset to be in. But I don't know if it's just the fact that it isn't fitted as to why I don't like it. So I'm going to pop some pictures and some footage in of me twirling around in it. Now, I do wonder if I was able to put maybe some darts in just under the bust, or put some darts in here and then some darts in the back, just to make it come in and be a little bit more fitted, whether that would just work for me in general, whether I'd perhaps feel a little bit different. But I don't know whether, because I do like a puff sleeve, but I like a puff sleeve in drape. So if it's got a real nice drape to it, because my shoulders, I mean, I'm sitting with my shoulders back right now, so you can see my shoulders are really slopey shoulders. Literally, you just can slide off of them. And I don't know whether, because I'm used to having my shoulders as quite slopey shoulders and not with that little bit of structure to sort of sit proud, whether that makes me dislike the idea of having that on there and makes me feel a lot broader than I actually am, because I have quite narrow shoulders, and maybe I just like the narrow shoulders. I don't know. I'm just trying to come up with why I'm not so keen on the dress, because I'm also not so keen across here. So I just don't know, because it's an absolutely beautiful, stunning fabric, and it's a beautiful, stunning dress. But I don't know whether it's my style. I think if this was a viscose fabric, I would be absolutely in love with it, because it would just drape over my body. It would look like I've got a bit of shape, and I would feel so much more comfortable in it. Let me know your thoughts on what you think about the dress and what you think I should try and do. Should I try and put some shape into it? Am I going to dislike it even more? Or shall I gift this to a beautiful bestie that wears oversized garments like this and would probably get a lot more wear and a lot more enjoyment out of it than I would? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. So that's the first thing that I got done. I just literally need to hem it and then that's finished. Now, the next make. So my nails have been painted multicoloured this week, and these colours are for a particular reason. And this is the particular reason. See how nicely these nails go with this particular fabric? So this fabric I got from Guthrie Garni back in October when we went to Sobrum. Was it Sobrum that I got this? No, I got this fabric when we went to, so I saw it at Sobrum because the lovely Claire, who is Loves Red Sews here on YouTube and over on Instagram, she had bought this in a different colourway. When we went to the sample evening earlier this year, they had this in this colourway, which was a bit more brighter. Now, I still think this is quite muted for me. I know when I am saying that to everybody else, you're going, that's not muted, Becky. It's got some pretty bright colours on it. But for me, I feel that these colours aren't like in your face bright, Becky bright, kind of bright. I'm hoping you get what I mean from that. So this is the Tilly and the Buttons Mabel dress, and this is what I'm going to wear to the Stitch Festival tomorrow. I actually cannot wait. I love the way that this looks on me. It's got lovely, gorgeous billowy sleeves. I've gone for the long sleeve version, obviously because I want to make sure that I can get as much wear out of it as possible. Because it's a nice chalet as well, it should carry me through all seasons. It's got a couple of warm colours in there that I could get through in the autumn that don't look too bad because you've got all of the contrasting colours on there as well, so I can get away with wearing. I can wear some bright pink lippy with this and it would just look fantastic. So I need to just hem this because at the moment I'm still, you can see the bottom, because I made this up in one night and I wanted to see in the daylight where it came to, how it looked before I made the decision about where I was going to hem it. And actually, I think I'm going to keep it the length that I've done it. I'm just literally going to do a normal hem on it. And I love it. I'm going to pop some pictures in for you to see and some footage in for you to see. Now, I have had my hair cut. You can't see that I've had my hair cut because I've literally swept it back out of the way because that's what I do when I'm tired. I put scruffs on and I just wang the hair up and yeah, I look like this. But tomorrow, hopefully I'll look a little bit more glam and I'll have a fringe. Back to fringe twinning with the lovely Rowan. My hair hopefully should get dyed tonight, a red colour, which will make me feel like I'm back to being Becky, because I feel when I go brunette, and I've been brunette for about 6 months now, it just feels a little bit out of character for me, and I go through stages. I'll go brunette or I'll go purple, like a mystic kind of colour purple, and then I always go back to red. Red's always the place that I end up. It's where I'm happiest. It's a Becky colour. So yeah, tomorrow when I'm at the Stitch Festival, you'll see my fringe in. My hair's a little bit shorter and you'll see me with red hair, hopefully. Well, I say red, like a dark, deep red. So anyway, I digress about the hair. You'll see pictures of me looking pretty in this, hopefully, and let me know your thoughts on it. It comes together lovely. I started this about 5:30 on Tuesday evening. So I finished work at 5. I was working from home. I started dinner. I sat down. I got the first few bits of shearing done. And then I had my dinner, sat down and watched something on the TV for an hour, let my food settle. Then I went in and I got this all finished by 9:30, apart from the hemming. I had changed, so a few bits that I did with the elastic across here, I did go with my own measurements on this, not the recommended measurements. So I cut according to how I felt I wanted it to sit. And the reason for that being is when I bent over, because I know it can be quite booby, and I do have boobs, and when I'm wearing not a soft sports type bra and my boobs are sitting proudly where they normally should, I didn't want to bend over and, you know, be showing anything off to the world. So just having that little bit tighter of an elasticated section there holds that in nicely, I think. I also made this a little bit smaller in the arms as well, because I wanted to feel secure with the arms too. Other than that, I think everything else is pretty much the same. And the length, I went with the guidelines on the length. Didn't know whether I'd be taking any off, because all of Tilly's patterns are usually modelled for 5'6", and I am 5'4.5". No, 5'4.25" now. I've shrunk. So yeah, I didn't know whether I'd need to change that or not. I'm gonna wear this with my, hang on 2 seconds, I'm gonna go and grab them. So I'm gonna wear this with these boots. So I bought these from a charity shop a little while back. Benny's trying to get at my boots, he likes to chew them. And I thought that it would go okay with this. Bit obscure, but it would go really well. But yeah, I just thought it was a bit of a nice contrast with the black and the pink. And the pink's very similar to the pinks in there. So hopefully it'll go all right. To be fair, I'm getting my train really early tomorrow morning. So because I'm getting my train really early, I need to be prepped and ready to go. Benny, no. Sit, 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 sit. That's not sitting. You don't really work on command, do you? Right, enough. Right, hang on. So, now that they're calm again, apologies about that. What was I saying? I've lost track of what I'm saying. My train's really early tomorrow. I need to be at the train station for 5 to 7. So that is quite early, which means I need to leave my house about 6:30, which means I need to be ready to leave at 6:30. And that includes, you know, a bit of grooming to make this look a bit more human, and making sure that I've got everything ready downstairs whilst I'm getting ready, so I don't wake any of the children up or my other half up before I leave in the morning is going to be key, which is why I'm thinking about what I'm wearing, how I'm wearing it. I just need to hem that tonight. So we are meeting up with some absolutely beautiful people tomorrow, and there are so many I'm not going to be able to name. I am going to get to hopefully see the Northern Soul Sisters again, because I know that they're there. I'm meeting up with a load of people from the Thurklow Weekender as well. We've got, of course, the gorgeous Staffordshire Socialites coming as well. Just missing the two lovely Sallys. You are going to be missed tomorrow. We have also got some people from my own social going. So the Nan that sews in MK, which is Grace, she will be there as well. So there are just loads of us. There are too many people to name, to be honest with you. And I am sure that I'm going to forget somebody, and I don't want to offend anybody by forgetting anybody. So I'm just looking forward to seeing fellow friends that I have made in the sewing community tomorrow. It's going to be a fabulous day. That is my plans to go there. I've got an idea of some viscose that I want. There's some fabric godmother stuff. There's some Lady McElroy stuff that I want. But I just want to go and have a look around and take in the experience. I know it's going to be so busy, especially in comparison to what I experienced last weekend, which was just nice and casual on a Sunday. But I'm hoping that it will be a good day. I will get to see some independent companies that I have never seen in real life, maybe shopped online, maybe see a few new companies that I haven't seen before. There's some Ethel and Joan buttons that I'm really interested in going and looking at as well, because I have a thing about buttons. I just need to start making things with buttons. You know, I make my own buttons and I still don't use them very often either. So yeah, so there's it's going to be a good day. I'm going to enjoy some great company, and then hopefully I'm going to feel that inspired that on Sunday I'm going to come home and spend the day sewing and just enjoying, relaxing, the peace and quiet, and lots of sewing. So if you are at the Stitch Festival tomorrow, don't forget to come along and say hello. It'd be really nice to meet you. And let me know if you are going to be there or not. Let me know what you think of the dress. Let me know what you think of the everyday dress. It'd be really good to hear your feedback on that too. If you like my content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click that notifications bell. It'll let you know when I release more content. Thank you very much once again to the lovely ladies that had bought me a coffee. I really appreciate it, and I'll certainly be using that whilst I'm at the Stitch Festival for a few coffees tomorrow. And I hope you all have a fantastic week. Share what you're doing, what your plans are, what you're sewing now in the comments down below. I do love to read them and always try and get back to all of you. Happy sewing, guys. Take care. Bye.